How was that meeting with the Indian cricket team, especially Rahul Dravid? Was it like a motivation push?
We actually got hammered in that game. It was a warm-up game against India, and they made about 470 runs, and we got all out for like 150 or 170. I don't exactly remember, but so we got hammered. And after the game, he came. He said some nice things. He's like, "Don't get too down. Like these guys, they don't go to school. They don't do anything. All they do is play cricket." He was just trying to motivate us, which was nice of him. And to hear like Rahul Dravid is also one of the guys that I looked up to when I was younger. So having a chance to talk to him was pretty special.
Welcome back to the SD Dugout. Today, in episode 3, we will cover the story shaping the global cricket. Cricket has never been Canada's first sporting identity, but over the years, a quiet transformation has been underway, with the country producing competitive international cricketers and building a strong presence in associate cricket as well as international cricket. So today we are joined by one such name, Harsh Thaker, who is a Canadian international cricketer and the vice captain of Canada cricket team. Currently on the road of the ICC T20 World Cup 2026. Harsh, welcome to SD Dugout. We are really grateful to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So to start with, can you take us back to your journey in the world of cricket, especially coming to Canada at the age of 7, right?
So basically, I came to Canada at the age of 7. When we first came, me and my dad, like cricket was always something that I wanted to do since I was like 3 years old. I had a small cricket bat, so cricket, it was always cricket for me. I loved cricket. My dad used to play cricket. He loves cricket. My mom's parents used to play cricket, so she also played a bit of cricket. So something that I always wanted to do. When we came to Canada, we didn't know there was cricket in Canada. We had no idea. And if you look in the outset at that time, in about 2007 or something, cricket wasn't relevant. Like it wasn't main on the face. Like if you walk around the city or if you drive around the city, you don't see cricket. But then we found cricket, found a academy that I went to, Transact Castle Cricket Academy, which is Coach Sheriff, and from there, then I found out there's actually quite a lot of cricket in Canada, but it's just that it was a little bit hidden. Like the grounds are there, it's just inside
Okay.
parks. So you have to go inside and you'll see grounds there. Then obviously from there, played the under 15 team, Canada under 15s. Then I made my way into the under 19 World Cup. I played in Bangladesh in 2016 for the
Yeah,
under 19 Cricket World Cup. Then I obviously made the national team in 2018 was my debut. So and since then I've been here now.
that's nice. It's like so inspiring. So you represented the Canada at the Under 19 World Cup, right? So before making a senior debut, what lessons from youth cricket helped you the transition to the international cricket?
Uh, I do believe that Canada's youth cricket at the time wasn't the strongest. Like we didn't play on turf. For a lot of the guys that went to play the under 19 games, I mean, we played qualifiers. The qualifiers would be on turf, but before those qualifiers, let's say like in under 17, we had a pre-tour World Cup qualifiers pre-tour. In that tournament, we played on turf, and that's why it's the first time a lot of people played on turf. Not me, I played on turf before, but not that many times. Even me, it was like my 10, 15 time playing on actual turf. So a lot of Canadian cricket is played on matting, and
Yeah,
obviously playing from going from matting or astro and going on turf is a whole different experience. So there's still a few lessons like you're born like Canadian grounds are not the best either. So it's just the little things like it's hard. So actually, when you go play on nicer grounds and when you play on flat wickets, it actually becomes easier for you because you come from harder places.
okay. So during the time of the Under 19 World Cup, you have played against Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. So, from that squad, you have played against international stars who have become right now, like Charit Aslanka, Kumindu Mendes, Rashid Khan. So, how valuable was that exposure for your development as like in today's time?
I mean, it was massive. I mean, we also played a warm-up game against India in that World Cup as well. So we played against the likes of
Okay.
Rishabh Pant. We played against
Yeah.
Ishan Kishan, Washington Sundar, Sarfaraz Khan. So Avish Khan, I batted against him. So the whole experience was amazing. Rahul Dravid was also India's coach, and after the game against India, it was a warm-up game. So Rahul Dravid came and said a few words to us. It was that's something that you'll never forget. A lot of fun playing. It wasn't particularly a good World Cup for me. I was coming off of very good qualifiers where I did really well, but in the World Cup, it didn't go as planned, and I was actually very down when I got back to Canada, saying, I maybe cricket is this is it, like play an under 19 World Cup and then you just focus on school or focus on getting a job, focus on IT, which is what I did. So, but my dad was like he in that time where he said you you don't lose hope. You had one bad series, but it doesn't mean it's the end of the world. And after a month, I was also back on track, and I wanted to practice again.
That's nice. And how was that meeting with the Indian cricket team, especially Rahul Dravid? So, like, was it like a motivation push?
No, it definitely was like after we actually got hammered in that game. It was a warm-up game against India, and they made about
Okay.
470 runs, and we got all out for like 150 or 170. I don't exactly remember, but so we got hammered. And after the game, he came. He said some nice things. He's like, "Don't get too down." Like these guys, basically saying the Indian guys like they don't go to school, they don't do anything. All they do is play cricket, and they play cricket all year long because the weather's nice and all that. So he was just trying to motivate us, which was nice of him. And to hear like Rahul Dravid is also one of the guys that I looked up to when I was younger. So to hear something from him and having a chance to talk to him was pretty special.
And growing up in a non-traditional cricketing nation like Canada, what were the biggest challenges or surprises you faced while developing as a cricketer?
Well, first of all, it's not a mainstream sport, so when especially when I was growing up, there was no contracts in Cricket Canada. We didn't have contracts. We didn't have full time. Like even if you played cricket,
Yeah.
you needed a full time job. So my mom always said, regardless of the cricket, but you always need to get your education and you need to get a decent education. Then you need to find a job. So those things obviously exist. And our ground like infrastructure for junior cricket is not the best either. Like the grass is very thick in Canada, so when you hit the ball on the ground, it doesn't go anywhere because you're not allowed to cut the
Okay.
grass to a certain like you're only allowed to cut the grass to a certain length, and then in cricket you need smaller grass so that the ball travels,
Yeah.
right? But in Canada you're not allowed. So the grass, especially when you're younger, you have to hit the ball in the air. Which when you're younger and you start doing that, then it doesn't help your technique as much. So those things are obviously there, but now it's getting better. I think we have contracts now and all that, so it's a lot better now.
Yeah, we have seen a lot of development in the Canada cricket in recent years. So the next will be upon from missing the 24 World Cup and to returning as a vice captain in 2026 World Cup. How do you see your comeback into the team?
So basically, yeah, in 2024, I was also the vice captain of the team, but I had a broken foot like about 4 weeks before the tournament, and the doctors told me that you're injured, you won't be able to play. But all that happened, so it was obviously tough for me and my family to miss out on a World Cup where I was going to be playing. They had already booked their tickets and everything as I was going to be part of the squad, but then I got injured, so a lot of things hit you that time, and you get upset. But it's obviously good to be back, playing and playing a World Cup is obviously massive, and especially this being in India is even bigger.
Yeah. So that was a very tough time for you in 2024. And how important was mental strength during that injury phase? Considering the fans often talk about the fitness when the player is injured, but rarely see about what a player goes through psychologically.
Yeah, I agree. I think mentally a player, it's not just physically that the player has to go to. Mentally, he has to fight a lot of challenges and battles because you're not getting to play cricket, and obviously you're not getting to play a World Cup, which is even bigger. So it is challenging mentally. You need to be focused, and it it does take a lot of support from family and friends. My friends were very close to me. My family was very close to me that time, so that helped a lot.
That's nice. You had a back for the family. That is a main thing.
Definitely, that's one of the biggest things.
Yeah. So your maiden ODI century was a landmark moment for the Canadian cricket. So can you take through your that innings and what it meant to you personally?
Yeah, I mean that was ODI century is what someone dreams of. When you're a kid, you think of playing cricket, you're thinking, no, ODI century, like international century for your country is like a dream. So it came at the right time for me as well. Like it was our first ODI series. Well, after we got ODI status, it was our first official
Okay.
ODI try. Like we basically were in a group of 36 ODIs in 3 years, and that was part the first four we played. and we won all four of them. And I was having a lead run before that in the practice tour. We had a practice tour in Hong Kong and Nepal, and the practice tour wasn't as good as I didn't feel as good. So the century, obviously, my first one came at the right time, and the feeling after that century was a something special that I'll never ever forget.
So you had a very nice feeling after scoring a century. I'll now ask, what were your thoughts when we were at the score of 99 and about to reach that maiden century?
I was a little blank, honestly. I was trying to stay calm, so I knew if I start thinking about it, I will start panicking, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to make a mistake and miss out on 100 like first century. So what I was trying to do, I was just trying to react to the ball and just trying to stay as calm as possible, and just knowing that I've gone to this many runs doing this, so I don't want to change anything now. And I have a little routine before the ball's bowled. I sing the Gayatri Mantra. I keep
Okay.
singing that in my head. Not singing, but I keep repeating it in my head. So that helps me stay focused. And yeah, that's what I did. And gladly it came off.
So your first World Cup match is against South Africa at the Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad. And that is close to your roots in Gujarat. So how special is it to begin your World Cup journey at a venue that feels like a home?
It's special. 2019, I went to India and the ground was being built. Like the Narendra Modi ground was being built. I was actually born in Ahmedabad as well. So
Okay.
we went back to India and I was home for a few days with family. And when the ground was being built, I told my dad, my mom and dad, and I told them that, one day I will be playing at this stadium. And
Ah,
for it to come, for it to come this quickly at a World Cup first game, and that too in Ahmedabad, a lot of my family is still there, so they're all excited, and it's gonna be special. My whole family's coming there to watch me too, my sister with my parents and everyone. So it'll just be a very special event.
I think this is the destiny. Your first World Cup match was written to be played at Ahmedabad.
Exactly. There you go. You can think it that way, and this is how it's meant to be.
Nice. And as you told, like with your roots in Gujarat and your first World Cup matches in Ahmedabad. So, how many friends and family members have already asked about tickets?
Oh, my dad is going crazy. So they don't really ask me, but they ask my dad and my mom,
Oh,
obviously, because it's their side. I don't really have many per se friends in India because I moved out of India when I was 6 years old. So it's not that I have many friends, but I have a lot of family relatives there. So my dad's been telling me, oh, I need like 50, 100 tickets. I'm like, it's hard to get that many tickets here. So. But yeah, a lot of requests are coming through. But let's just let my dad and my mom say, you guys deal with it. And I've talked to a couple of the managers and just they try to help me out as much as possible.
this is one of the proudest moments for your parents, for sure.
Yeah, they're having a lot of fun.
And facing South Africa, the T20 World Cup runners-up, so brings a different challenge. So, how do you guys, as a team, mentally prepare to face such a strong side on the biggest stage?
Yeah, it's as you said, it's mental. I think a lot of this will be coming to the mental abilities because at the end of the day, it's just a ball and bat that you're playing. You're just playing another game. But obviously, this is against South Africa, so the names and all the players that they have and the stature of the team will play in your head. But just to think that it's just another game and you need to play that way, you still need to hit the ball that you think you can hit, you still hit it, regardless of who's bowling to you. And that's the key in this, I think. Obviously, we've never played South Africa before, and it is a big opponent, but we just trying to train ourselves mentally that no matter who we're playing, we're in Sri Lanka currently, and we're having a pretty good pre-tour here. So just continue that confidence going into the World Cup and just playing it like another game.
And South Africa are known for their strength, but also for the World Cup upsets they have. So, as a team, do you talk about these moments to build that belief that Canada created that something special?
No, I mean, 100%. Like in team meetings and stuff, we only not just South Africa. I think we're just talking as we're going there to like win. We're going there to at least get in the Super Eights. Like that's our goal. This is not just to go there and compete and like try to make up numbers. We're trying to. The goal is to at least get there. Create a couple upsets and get in the Super Eights, and we're strongly believing in that.
And if Canada pulls a major upset, so what's the celebration like?
Uh, I there's no plans yet, but there'll be good celebrations if we do create a couple upsets. I think guys will have a lot of fun, and we're just trying to go and play good cricket at the end of the day. Even if we lose or win, it doesn't matter. It's about playing good cricket, giving your best, and then the results will take care of itself.
Yeah, that is like that is good thinking. So you'll be playing at the iconic venues like Ahmedabad, Delhi, and Chennai. So how does it feel receiving the support from the Indian crowds while representing Canada?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about that. I want to know, like, how many fans actually cheer for Canada. We have a lot of actually Indian background people in the Canadian team as well, so
Yeah.
I'm sure their families and their friends will come. And I think it'll depend a lot on the first game in Ahmedabad, depending on how we do. I think we might get a decent fan base in India because obviously they love cricket in India. So we're just hoping that we can put a show for the fans, entertain fans and play some good cricket.
And the Canada team is a mix of Indians, Pakistanis, a bit of Caribbeans, and other background players. So, what is the dressing room atmosphere like in such a multicultural setup?
Yeah, so as you said it, like we're a multicultural team. Like everybody has different routines. Everybody listens to different songs. Everybody has different ways of playing the game because that's just how we are. But that's kind of our strength, as we are accustomed to that living in Canada for so many years. Canada is a multicultural country, so it's what we have grown up with, and we're used to this environment. It's not new for us, and I think it's one of our strengths to see how we can, pull off a major upset or something is because of the multicultural. I think we've all found a way to stay together, but still have our own ways about it.
So, you might understand and speak Punjabi now after playing a lot of cricket with the cricketers of that region. So,
Definitely,
can you
like my
speak?
Punjabi's. I wouldn't say I'm still not fluent in Punjabi, but I can understand a lot of Punjabi. Obviously, I know Hindi. I'm fluent in Hindi, but Punjabi is a little bit harder for me to speak. Even understanding, if you speak slowly, I will understand it. But if it's the fast language Punjabi, then it gets a little tough for me.
Can you speak a line in Punjabi for your team? Basically, that is the World Cup dream is alive. Canada is fully prepared.
I can say it in Hindi. Can I say it in
Okay.
Hindi? Okay.
Yeah, that
So
also works.
वर्ल्ड कप का सपना जिंदा है एंड कनाडा पूरी तरह से तैयार है.
Yes, that is, and we are really excited to see Canada doing wonders in this World Cup.
Thank you. Thank you.
So during the tournaments, when there's India versus Pakistan match happening, so what is the mood like inside the Canadian camp, giving everyone's emotional connection to the roots?
We're pretty neutral. Like obviously, the Indians will obviously have a little bit of a soft corner for the Indian side, and then the Pakistanis will obviously have a soft corner for the Pakistanis. But it's all banter. It's all friendly. We have a good time with it. Whenever India and Pakistan play, I think guys are all like having fun with it. It's the same as it's like it is in Canada. Like when as a
Okay.
country in Canada, we do the same thing when a game's going on. Like there's bars where Indians and Pakistanis watch the game together, and there's a lot of friendly banter and all that. So it's just the same thing.
That is the nature of this, the greatest rivalry in cricket, right? So to add this about the greatest rivalry, so the USA versus Canada rivalry is often seen as a mini version of India versus Pakistan, right? So how do you personally view this rivalry, and does this bring extra intensity?
Playing USA is always fun. It's been Canada USA is a big game in any sport, not just in cricket. If you're in Canada, if you're playing USA in basketball, hockey, no matter what, like it's always a big game and people keep attention. So same in cricket, like when we play USA, it's a lot of there's extra attention on that game. You really want to win that game. So
Yeah.
it's also a lot of fun because you're playing the US, and to be honest, we're quite like we're friends with all of them too. So it's like we're
Okay.
friends off the field, but when it's on the field, both countries want to win for their country, and both countries players want to win. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a good rivalry going. And it's actually the first international game played was Canada and USA.
A lot of people doesn't know this fact. They think it is the Australia versus England, but you're right. Canada versus USA was the first ever match.
Yes.
So when Canada plays other associate nations, so there's almost one Indian origin player in the opposition. So, what does this say about the reach and strength of the Indian cricket ecosystem across the globe?
Well, I mean, it just tells you how much Indians love cricket. I think if you were born in India, you are gonna be playing cricket at some point in your life. Like most people have at least
Yeah,
played the game at one point in their life. And you can see it just as you said. I was just watching the New Zealand team, the Under 19 World Cup, and I saw like four Indian, I don't know if they're born in India or whatever, but I saw four Indian origin names in this squad, and four or five actually. So, and it's basically in every country now. So it just shows the love that Indians have for cricket, and it shows that we love cricket wherever we go. We'll continue to play the game.
yeah. You just talked about the New Zealand under 19 team, right? So if you go see the USA under 19 team, not only the playing 11, all 15 are the Indian origin players. Like if I go see with the name,
No, definitely. I think any associate country, if you look at any associate
yeah.
country, it's only either Indians playing or the subcontinent people playing in any associate country you see. But it's even happening in test nations now. So it's more of a like wherever we go, we actually should play cricket.
Yes, that is. Before any major tournaments, so how detailed is the preparation by the coaching staff? Just like you are currently in Sri Lanka preparing for the T20 World Cup. So, do they focus heavily on the video analysis and the player-specific matchups?
Yes, we actually basically for us, we come from a cold country. So in Canada, it would be winter time, and from basically October onwards, you can't really be playing cricket outdoors. So we do come from a winter, and when we come on a pre-tour like this, our first goal is to get acclimatized to the conditions, like the weather, because we're basically coming from -20 to like +30, and it's a big change. So that's one of our goals, and also just to get outdoors and play cricket. We also have a analyst who travels with the team, and we do watch videos and try to analyze all these players and have game plans about surrounding those particular players and those particular plans that we make.
So, I think that was the specific reason the Canada team chose Sri Lanka as the camp. Like,
We
because,
actually been here before. Sri Lanka is one of the places that we usually come to. And it's kind of like you can sort of say like a lucky place for us. Whenever we come here for a pre-training tour, we
that's what.
usually do well in the next tour. So it's like we're just keeping that going.
So, like the Indian pitch is expected to assist spinning tracks. So, especially in Chennai, when you are playing two matches, right? So, how does the team plan have like to tackle the strong spinning teams like Afghanistan?
Yeah, I mean that's one of our. We also were lucky enough to have two practice games in Chennai as well. So before the World Cup starts, we're gonna play Italy and Nepal in Chennai. So I think that'll kind of give us an advantage there, where at least we know how the pitch will play like. And playing, as you said, wrist spinners like Rashid Khan or like a Mujib, I think it's really good to be in Sri Lanka because Sri Lanka have a lot of these. Even when we have in the nets, we have a lot of these wrist spinners or like these finger
Yeah.
spinners that have like they're unorthodox, which is kind of basically what we're gonna be playing. We're playing a lot of wrist spinners also in the nets in Sri Lanka and the teams we're playing. So it is helping us a lot in trying to obviously replicate like a Rashid Khan. It's obviously very hard to replicate exactly Rashid Khan because there's not many like Rashid Khan, but you do get good
Yeah.
practice around it.
You are also an off spinner, and there's a intense, fascinating battle basically the off spinner versus the left handers. So, how do you approach bowling to the batters like Quinton de Kock, Devin Convoy?
I actually take on the battle. I actually love bowling on lefties, and especially top order lefties. I feel like I can get a lefty out, especially in the top order where I have opened the bowling. I've bowled in the power play a lot for Canada, so I it's one of my strengths, and I feel like I'm always confident bowling to a lefty, you know. And so if the opportunity does come, and you know, if I'm bowling to Quinton de Kock in the first or the first, second, third over, like I'll be ready for it.
I'm hoping to see you taking the wicket of Quinton de Kock. Just like you took the wicket of the Indian gubber Shikhar Dhawan in the NPL. So, can you take us through about that moment?
Yeah, I mean that was also a very surreal like moment. Obviously, I watched Shikhar Dhawan a lot throughout my career, so I knew that Shikhar Dhawan was going to be playing that. game against us, and my mom and my sister were on the call the whole time. They're like, "Oh, you're gonna get him out," but there was no plan that I was gonna bowl against him. He has to survive a few overs, then I can come and bowl against him. So luckily, I got the opportunity. The first ball, he hit me for four. And Nepal, if you know cricket in Nepal is big. They love their fans come in big numbers, like 20, 25,000 people at the stadium. So when he hit me for the first boundary, 25,000 people erupted. And I'm like, wow, am I gonna go for a big over here? And then the next ball, I got it on a good line, good length, and I got him bowled. So very good feeling. I had celebrated like that as well. So it's just a very good moment.
Yeah, I saw that wicket. That was a piece of a delivery, man.
Yeah, hitting top of off, just like Stricker done bowled, you take that.
Yes. And which wicket so far in your career has given you the most satisfaction?
Which wicket? I would say Shikhar Dhawan is up there. Definitely it would be
Okay.
Shikhar Dhawan. Like, it's something that before the game I wanted to get him, and it's nice to get him bowled as well. Catch is good, but if you get someone bowled, it feels even better. So Shikhar Dhawan is definitely one of the ones up there.
And it was clearly evident with the kind of you was like celebrating after the wicket.
Yeah, if you see the video anywhere, like you can see that I was super excited.
And so, if you had to choose one dream wicket to take and one bowler you'd love to hit for a six, who would they be?
Dream wicket I would love to take would be Virat Kohli. He's my idol. So to get him out would be pretty surreal because he would remember that too. And a bowler I would like to hit for a six. I would say it's Rashid Khan, and there's a story to this because I played Rashid Khan in the 2016 Under-19 World Cup. He was part of Afghanistan, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
did not play well in that game. And that day I went back and I was like, this guy, random spinner from Afghanistan, is making me look like so bad because he wasn't famous that time. And then I was like, am I that bad? Like, so imagine how good international spinners are. And then luckily, Rashid Khan went on to become one of the best bowlers in the world.
Yeah.
So it kind of made me feel better in a way where, I was struggling, but a lot of other people also struggle at him. So, but I did say that time that when I play him again, I will look to, be more positive and play him better than I did that day.
Okay, so the battle is loading against Rashid Khan at Chennai.
Hopefully it comes true. And, this time I'm able to come out on top.
So there's a lot of curiosity around your jersey number 18. So is it a personal story or inspiration from Virat Kohli?
It's inspiration from Virat Kohli. So basically when I got in the national team, I wanted you get two options. You get either you pick a number and then you get a backup number. My first option was 24, but 24 was taken at the time. 24 is my birthday, so
Okay.
I just chose 24.
Okay.
Second option is obviously I was gonna go with my idol's number, Virat Kohli, and so yeah, it was just Kohli's number, and I think I look up to him a lot, so I chose his number as well.
So every young kid is like getting that. I want that 18 number at my back.
I'm sure there's millions of kids in India that want 18 number.
And I really hope that young youths or the youth cricketers in Canada will be hoping to get 18 number because of you in the future.
That would be nice.
So at the international level, criticism is unavoidable. So how do you deal with criticism during the tough phases of your career?
Yeah, as you said, it's unavoidable. It's something you get used to. Initially, when you start off, you take it a little bit more. There's more feelings to it, but after with the stuff that goes on, your experiences and all that, you start getting used to it. You start taking it in a lighter note. You start trying to compartment like cricket is part of your life, but you also have another life after cricket. So let's say you have a bad game, obviously fans are gonna say some negative stuff on your social media.
Yeah.
You may even hear it like your own people back home are saying stuff about you and all that. So but basically after a game you just start to be like you don't think about the game, you start looking forward, you start looking at the next game, you start looking at things that you can do better from that game. So you overall you just get better and you start avoiding these things. I actually laugh at some of the comments that are made now when I don't do well. I actually take it like a laughing theory, and some of them are actually really funny, so they're enjoyable.
So that's a good thing, like how you took the criticism.
Exactly.
So you missed the opportunity to play the 24 World Cup as we discussed earlier. So and you would have possibly faced Virat Kohli that with the India versus Canada match. So, how hard was that emotionally? Like, did it fuel the extra motivation in you?
It definitely did. After the World Cup, I came back and I said, I definitely want to go play a World Cup again. And India, I was actually at the ground for that game because my family was
Okay.
they already had the tickets booked and everything. So I went to Miami, we went to Fort Lauderdale and to watch that game. Unfortunately, the game got rained out, but I was there. Then after the game, the team had a meeting and they invited me over in the dressing room, and I was able to meet like not talk much, but I met Kohli and Rohit Sharma and everybody. They were at the dressing room,
Yeah.
so it was kind of a cool moment. But yes, it was a setback. But as you said, things are meant to be. You just start thinking that whatever's happened, it's for your own good, and whatever happens, you just take it.
So, you didn't get any chance to click a picture with your idol.
No, I didn't actually get it because I was actually just about to go, but then the coach said meeting, and then I went inside the dressing room because it was
Oh.
right away. And when we came out, he was gone. So no picture, but I did get to shake hands and talk like a little bit, but not too much.
So, you are hoping to meet him this time?
Well, I mean, he doesn't play T20s anymore, so
Yeah.
maybe he comes to watch one of the games. I think we're gonna be in Delhi when India plays on February 12th because we have a game on February 13th. So maybe he comes for one of the games, or maybe in the future sometime, hopefully. So we'll see.
So, like, do you have the games like just prior to the game of India? So, do you have any Indian cricketers friends or any friends from the domestic cricket you are like seeing to meet them?
Not Indian cricketers, but we have a league called GT20 and we have a league called Super 60. So a lot of the other players usually come to those leagues. Like I'm good friends with Riza Hendricks, Corbin Bosch, some of the Mohammad Rizwan. I played with him, and we've had a decent touch with him and Fakhr Zaman. So Mohammad Amir
Okay.
also played for my team. So guys who've
Yeah.
come to GT20 and guys who've played with, you obviously build a little bit of a bond. Rassi van der Dusen, I don't think he's in the World Cup, but these are some of guys that you're close with. Indian guys, they don't really come and play in these leagues, so it's hard to meet the Indian players anywhere else. But I know there's some guys in the team that are actually they play cricket in Punjab, so they actually kind of know some of the guys pretty well. So it'll be cool to see if we can chat with them using that.
So, you played a key role in helping Canada getting back the ODI status and won the Man of the Match award in that specific match. So, how satisfying was that in the phase of your career?
Yeah, that was one of the at that time it was one of the best performances that I've had. It was against USA as well. So as you said, a game against USA is always extra special, and it was a big game for us. It was a big game for cricket, and to come out on the winning side on that game was a really good feeling, and obviously to contribute and become man of the match in that game. After the game, we all had a beer at the ground, and it was just a very good feeling. It was a good team bonding event, and something that it will hold a big stand in Canadian cricket as well because it got us ODI status.
Yeah, that's a very big thing.
Yep.
So, what do you think Canada needs to do become more competitive on a global cricket stage in the terms of funding, developmental pathways, exposure, or the domestic leagues?
Yeah, I think we're starting to get there, but there's still a lot of growth in Canadian cricket. We still need a lot of infrastructure. We still need to play quality cricket at a high level. Like our grounds for low junior cricket are still not the best, so the guys growing up in Canada are still not playing in the best conditions. We need a lot of home like grown talent, whereas like we guys that have played in the Canadian system to come and play for the national team, because that way you can have like a successful longer run. Right now, what it is that we have a lot of good players that play in India, and then they come to Canada when they're about 25, 26.
Yeah.
Then they play for the national team in Canada, which is also a very good thing. Don't get me wrong. I think that's a big help for us, but if we can't rely on that, right? Because you don't know the people that you'll be getting. So it's nice to get some homegrown talent in the national team, and playing these big competitions, playing against better teams will help us a lot too. And also, obviously, our franchise leagues in Canada will help along with.
Surely we'll see the more young future from the Canada in this the world of cricket.
Yes, for sure.
So, with the IPL scouts now focusing more on the talent rather than where the player comes from. So, do you see yourself becoming the first Canadian cricketer to play in the IPL?
I definitely have dreamt about it. but I definitely it would be nice to get that, and the World Cup is the stage where you can get picked up in these things because it is the biggest stage in the world. Like people will have eyes on the World Cup, and if you can put up a few good performances at the World Cup, you never know what can happen. So it's obviously a dream, and I obviously do see myself, but at the end of the day, it has to come down to the performances, and I hopefully I can put up a few good performances that the scouts can see.
Surely you'll do. And is there any particular IPL team you'd love to represent?
I mean, any IPL team would be great, but honestly, yeah, any IPL team would be great, but maybe Mumbai Indians or Gujarat. I'm from Gujarat, so maybe Gujarat Giants would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be a pretty cool thing. But honestly, any IPL team, RCB with Virat Kohli, that would be a special thing too. So you just never know.
So, what are your thoughts on the future of Canada's women's cricket team, and what more can be done to grow the women's game?
I actually am very impressed with the way the women's game is going. I genuinely, so we're practicing Sri Lanka, and we see the Sri Lankan women's team. They're also having a camp, and sometimes before we go to practices, they're usually practicing before or after, so we get to see a little bit of their cricket, and it's genuinely like the way the women's game is growing, especially after the World Cup India won, and with the WPL going on, the hype is getting. It's so good to see, and I actually enjoy watching the women's games as well. So. Canadian women, I think they're a little still, we can do more for them. It's going better. I think slowly it's improving and it's improving as well. Women's cricket is improving. I think our women are also getting a chance. We have a league called Super 60, which also has a women's edition in it. So things are happening for them. We're just hoping that more things happen. They can travel more and they can just get better that way.
Surely they will do. They will be like to be competing in one of the best women's cricket teams in the world in the future.
Hopefully, hopefully.
So you just mentioned about the Super 60 League. So and you were part of the Super 60 champions team. So and alongside the players like Martin Guptill, James Vince, David Wizard, and the Piyush Chawla. So what did you learn from sharing a dressing room with such experienced players?
Yeah, it's just massive. I mean, as I said, as in GT20, we get to share some dressing rooms with some big players. Usman Khawaja also played for our team, and you develop all these bonds, and just to pick their brains sometimes in certain situations. Some of these guys have played so much T20 cricket. They're so good at like understanding conditions. They're just very good at that. So pick their brains, and if they tell you something, it sticks with you, and it goes a long way in your career.
So whenever you like have a mention about the GD20 League, so a name always comes in the mind, Yuvraj Singh, who has played a major role in promoting the Canadian cricket through that. So how important are such efforts for the growth of the game?
Yeah, it's massive. Franchise leagues is what gets us the opportunity to play with some of these big stars around the world, and it's massive in the way that our cricket's going. If you see that since we got an ODI status, before that we had GT20 come in, and our players were able to play with some of these guys, and it translated us into getting ODI status. So you can just see the clear difference there, and it gives us, before going to a World Cup, like if you played with some of these guys, you played against them, it just gives you a little bit of a edge that you can belong at that level. If you perform well, you know that you can do it at this level. So why not at the World Cup?
And you did very well in GT20 by winning the Emerging Canadian Player Award. So what that recognition mean to you at that stage of your career?
Yeah, it was huge. The exposure that we get, and the kind of feeling that you have after you win. Like one of the games I did really well, and my mom and dad met Mohammad Rizwan, and then Mohammad Rizwan told my parents that your son is a lion. He said it in Hindi, but like those things you will never ever forget. Like Rassi van der Dusen, I've learned a lot from Rassi since the first year he came in, and also he was my captain that year. So some of the things that he says, it sticks with you, and these type of memories will always be there, and it's something you'll never forget.
You have played cricket with a lot of big cricket personalities.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So cricket in Canada relies heavily on indoor facilities, like just we talked about. Post October, they don't have a like facility outdoors. So how different is indoor preparation compared to the outdoor cricket, and how do you bridge that gap?
Indoor cricket, first of all, is very different to outdoor cricket. That is something that we've learned over the years. Like playing indoor cricket is nowhere near like outdoor cricket. But what indoor cricket is for is when it's winter time in Canada, it's to get repetitions in, just to make sure that your muscle memory and all that stuff is working. You need to do a lot of training that is specific to what you want. So have a plan in mind before you go into bat, because otherwise indoor cricket you can just, it's easy to slack, and it's not the
Yeah.
best if you don't plan it. And obviously it's a challenge going from indoors to outdoors. So that's why we usually in the winter, whenever we have a tour, we usually go on a pre-tour 15, 20 days before our actual series, so that we can get acclimatized to the outdoor conditions and playing on turf and all that.
So finally, for young cricketers in associate nations watching you, so what's the biggest myth about making it internationally that you'd like to break?
Sometimes when you're younger, you don't. It looks a bit further than it actually is. I like, when you're like 10 years old, you're thinking, how am I ever gonna play for my country? And it it actually happens more quicker than it actually you can process in your mind. It's just about keeping focus on your own goals and keeping focus on doing what you have to do. Everything else will take care of itself, and you don't need no one's connections, or you don't need any sort of external factors. It can all happen with just your hard work and just your performances.
Okay. So now we'll move to our next segment, that is a photo story segment. So I'll share that specific moment, and so you have to tell the story about that. So the 2011 picture of yours in the Canadian jersey, like fielding a ball.
Yeah, so that was actually, it was an under 15 tournament that happened in Winnipeg. It was the first, we were playing Canada under 15s, we're playing USA under 15, and Argentina or some other country was there, but that game was against USA in particular. And I actually, the shirt was so oversized for me. I was 13 years old. The shirt was very oversized for me. I had a big hat, and I took a catch, and I was just sitting on the ground, and I was pointing to the umpire that I took the catch. That's what it was basically. I took the catch, and I was just waiting for the ball. But the funny part about it was the oversized shirt. It just looked really funny.
So the capture was very candid, but it was very nice.
Yeah, it's like a really candid, young,
Yeah.
innocent me, like just trying to play cricket, enjoying my cricket.
So the next will be meeting Shoaib Malik, both like while playing at the Vancouver Knights, and other one you met somewhere off the field.
Yeah, so the first year I actually met Shoaib Malik. I was very young. I was like 19 or something, and I didn't play any games that year. That was with Chris Gale, Shoaib Malik. All of them were playing that year, and that year I was not getting to play, but I was just happy to be in there with some of these great, like Russell was part of that team, and Shoaib Malik
Yeah.
and Chris Gale. So it's a stacked team, and at the end, like I was always nervous around them because I was such a big fan of them. And then Chris Gill at the end, like, they told me to make us just talk in front of them. And then I said, it's nice to have guys like Chris Gill. And then Chris Gill got up and hugged me and all that. So he's like, Harshi, here, come here. So
Uh,
just like I was very young that time. So it was a cool moment. And then I took a picture with all of them. The next Shoaib Malik picture that was after COVID. And that was when I did play. And then I made runs against his team. So I just saw him at the park, and I just
okay.
said, "Hey, what's up?" You like we remember each other from playing. So he just said, "Oh, you're playing now. You become a better player. So congratulations and all that." So it's just at the parking lot.
That is so inspiring. So the next one, like you just told about the Chris Gill meeting, like how Hush, yeah, come here, and you met had in the Vancouver Knights. So the other one is at the cricket day at Park.
The Blue Jays one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one that was one of the cool moments where we got to the Blue Jays. The Toronto Blue Jays is a baseball team in Canada. They have a day where they have a cricket day at the park. It's called that. So the whole stadium. We play at the they play at the Rogers Stadium, and I'm a big Blue Jays fan myself. So when I go,
Okay.
they invite Cricket Canada players to be there, and I usually try to go for that event because I'm a big Blue Jays fan. So it's really cool to be there, and the whole stadium is decorated with cricket balls and bats, and it's really cool to see in Toronto, in Canada, where the whole stadium is filled with cricket bats, and the fans get to experience cricket.
So next we'll move to the rapid fire round. So you have to answer that quickly.
Got it.
Okay. So spin friendly pitch or batting paradise?
Batting paradise.
Indoor cricket or outdoor nets?
Outdoor nets any day.
ODI cricket or T20 cricket?
ODI cricket.
Taking a big wicket or scoring a match winning 50?
Scoring a match winning 50.
One song or playlist you listen to before a match?
Post Malone goodbyes.
Okay. So who is the funniest guy in the Canadian dressing room?
Ravinder Pal Singh.
Who is always late in the team?
Dilpreet Singh Bajwa.
He's the captain, right?
He's the captain.
Punjabi, Caribbean, or hip hop? Who dominates the playlist?
Usually Punjabi, but sometimes Caribbean.
So, one country where you didn't expect fan support?
Nepal. I was surprised at the amount of fans.
So, favorite Indian street food?
Pani Puri.
One food you miss from Canada while touring?
Burrito, like Mexican food, burritos and all that.
Okay. So, any place you have decided to visit during the World Cup in India?
I'm actually staying back after the World Cup, so many places. I think we're trying to go Chennai. We're trying to roam around Chennai. Obviously, go back to Ahmedabad and Rajasthan.
And your nickname in the team?
Dokla.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of SD Dugout. A big thank you to Harsh Thaker for sharing his journey and offering valuable insights into the associate cricket and Canada's growing presence on the global stage. We'll be closely watching you and wishing you all the very best as you go forward the ICC World Cup T20 2026. And we are looking forward to doing well and having the impact on the world stage.
Thank you so much for having me, and that was a lot of fun for me as well. Thank you.
Thank you. To all the listeners, thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Sportsdunia. Till then, this is Pranvit Singh signing off. See you in the next episode.